I'm in pain for a while, but now I feel a little bit okay. But now I did have huge crack noise, like my bone break just now. It's bad. I know it's bad. But somehow I'm able to walk, which is good. So I'm not gonna run. I'm gonna focus on recovery and push further. The rain started. It actually looked like 4 p.m., but it's just 2 p.m. It's going to rain soon. Something triggers me to think about what is it, Bart or Bert? The guy who, the scholar, right? I've been sharing. I have been reading. I've been reviewing on YouTube for a while. So there was something he mentioned. I mean, some debate about suffering in Bible, right? How suffering was, how Christianity showcased suffering. So there are a few things I like to agree on his speech. A few things I will agree. One of the things that I would agree with him is that Bible is not a history book. It's not historically accurate. One, two, there isn't an afterlife. If something happened inside jungle now, that's about it. Okay, I'm not going to have another life for this. Okay, so which means that that's about it. That said, right? Let me rephrase. So with that, right? Suffering for me is personal, right? So for me, suffering is actually we ask for it. I'll go into detail what is that suffering and how what it meant by that. Okay, so example now, I'm in a jungle. I injured my ankle. I mean, pretty badly injured. Not injured, just twisted the ankle. It was nice sound anyway. It's just you can hear the bone just twist. So it's cool. So I'm asking for it. Remember? So I asked for it. I chose to be in this situation, in this environment. Okay, it's not just that ankle twist. Anything could be out in the jungle. Okay, so it's not just specific to that. So I decided to be here, and the only difference, the only twist, right, here is that I'm hoping for his protection. Again, you see, I'm still looking up in the sky because I'm like everybody else. I like to size my God to be big, but he's not big. You cannot size him, which is why he's deep inside here. Again, that was a different topic. Okay, but specific to pain, I will go dive into a bit what is stated in Bible and what this environment set really explain about pain. I hope I can safely pass through. The only thing I really need at this moment is his protection. Okay, whether he's safe or not safe, again, I'm deciding, and it is my faith that really pushes me further. Okay, I'm having a leg injury. I can feel it swells, but I'm still pressing on. So I shouldn't stop. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so let me recalibrate what I want to share, and then means what suffering means, what is pain, what is suffering. Oftentimes, pain is actually induced not by anybody else than human ourselves. One human to another human. Okay, somehow we induce the pain. We also define what pain really means. It's not that somebody else is going to define or say that this is pain, this is suffering. So if you go to maybe which is the poorest country, Somalia, is it? Ethiopia. If you go to Ethiopia and see very starving kids who's dying out of nutrition, you never think for a moment that you contributing to that. We don't think that. We not even thought that we contribute. We from a distant half around the world, we contributing suffering there. Because all the, but in fact we are the one who contributing, and then we defining that pain. I'm not sure. Also, the other part of the puzzle for me is that what it means to be alive also, right? What does that mean to be alive? For example, the kids will die because of nutrition and that, but then that few moments of life that he is in this planet, right? What does that mean? That few minutes, the few moment, right? Even an infant, small kids, small children, that few moment, let's say a week, few days, 3 days. What does that few 3 days means? Okay, so we don't quantify it. We immediately think in a very granular scale that, hey, somebody passed away, it is really bad, it is suffering. They're shaking, not more than what I have, right? Okay, so we really have to understand what is suffering really. So, I might fall. So, what is pain and suffering? Yeah, pain and suffering is like this, like standing on this, right? And yeah, so pain and suffering is you chose where to stand, where to be in, where you really want to position yourself. You decide, we decide. We determine the generation. It's like we can pass on our habits to our next generation. We would pass on religion to the next generation. We're gonna pass on misconception about life to the next generation. We make the decision. We decide. It's not that someone high up above the sky to decide what is right and what is wrong. That's what they call free will. Yeah. Before I drop this phone, let's make sure I get out of this phone. So, what I want to tell about is actually, I keep on saying this word over and over again. I just couldn't get it. So, free will. Free will. So, when we decide, choose, and stuff, right? What happened to this fate? What happened to this thing that register in your forehead that this what's going to happen to you? And what if you fall sick? What if you fall in accident? What does all that mean? You decide. You have given every right, everything in your control. How you think, how you perceive the world, what you decide to eat today, what you decide to eat tomorrow. You have all the control. Nothing is supernatural, but still some people like to believe it's supernatural. I can't help it, right? So yeah, that's the case. So yeah, that's about free will. Okay, we cannot complain what is given to us. So with that thought, right? What the fuck am I gonna say? With that thought, where the fuck did God come from? No, hey, he didn't even really exist. If you got free, you decide everything. So where did really God comes from? So that's something really important, right? Something that really we need to understand. How God come into this picture. The only time God comes into the picture is when you ask for Him. It's where your thought process comes in. Whenever you ask for it, you ask God for it. Again, you can't ask yourself, right? I mean, atheist guys will automatically say that, hey, I can ask myself and do things. Fine. It's again how we perceive things, right? Because you believe something, maybe that's how it works. Okay. So you basically could ask. When you ask God to intervene, that is the only time God really gonna step in and kind of intervene, whatever it is. This is where. Let's see if I can go down. So what does that mean, right? So where exactly God comes into picture? So why do you think God comes into picture? Right? It's a very complicated part because it's very fine line, right? That's really a fine line. It's really existing of God and non-existing God. The part really comes in is when you really call for help. Yes, exactly. Call for help. You are in control of everything, but the only twist is that when you are still in control and you are asking for help, that is where and when God really comes in. Yeah. I can share a lot of time it happens to me. But again, it's just me, right? So yeah, that fine line, figuring out when to seek help. God never tell you what you need to do because you are in control to do whatever you want. Yeah, you can go and jump out of the building if you want to because you are in control. It's how you perceive and think. Yeah, love God. God is the best thing I got. Don't take that away from me.